If you're holding at least 100 shares of Palantir or any stock for that matter, and you are not doing this right now, you are seriously leaving a ton of juicy premiums on the table. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Yo, what is going on, premium chasers? I hope you are having a God blessed day today. Every single person that comments down below is going to get our option sellers checklist, and it's a simple one pager that is perfect for those of you just getting into the amazing world of selling options. And it's just a step-by-step checklist to make sure you're clicking all the right buttons, looking at your technicals, your Greeks, all that good stuff. So you are collecting some juicy premiums. But guys, today we're going to be talking about one of the crowd favorites, and that is Palantir. Now, I know a lot of people that own Palantir, but they're just sitting on it and hoping it goes up. Now, of course, Palantir has had an absolutely meteoric rise really over the past year. We can all admit that. But I'm sure you didn't know about a strategy that I'm going to share with you guys. So here's why the strategy I believe is important, and I'm going to share it with you guys. So like, for example, right here around February, right? Palantir hit around $125, just about $125. Then it's kind of been struggling and kind of getting back to those levels now, right? Well, what this strategy I'm going to share with you guys is it helps you exit your positions while collecting amazing appreciation sale, but also premiums from options buyers that's given to you upfront. Let me show you what I'm talking about if you don't know already, right? So I'm going to go to the options chain here. I'm going to click sell a call, and I'm going to go 30 days out, and we'll just do 37 days. What I'm saying here is I'm willing to sell my 100 shares of Palantir, right, on July 11th, 37 days away, for a price that I choose and collect a premium from an options buyer. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So for this example, let's just assume you own Palantir at 129. Okay, let's just assume you own 100 shares of Palantir. You just went out there and bought 100 shares, right? You're super bullish on Palantir. You love the company, all that good stuff, right? And you're like, yo, this thing's gonna skyrocket, right? Or whatever your thesis is on why you bought 100 shares. Well, if you actually own 100 shares and you go 37 days out, you can actually put your shares up on the market, essentially, is the way I kind of like to look at it, and say, you know what? I'm willing to sell my 100 shares of Palantir a month from now for $140, right? Now, maybe that's not juicy enough for you. Maybe you're like, yo, maybe $150, right? Let's do 150, right? You bought them at 129 and you want to sell them at 150, okay? So for you saying this, right, an options buyer would give you $300 of premium. Now, obviously, these numbers are constantly changing. This is all educational only. These premiums are constantly changing. Obviously, the market's open right now, okay? Now, I like to go high level and put everything in my covered call calculators, uncasted put calculators. Everything is here for you guys. All these calculators, all these tools, these are free inside our Facebook group. Link is in description. You can download them, edit them, use them for yourself. Now, 150 is our strike price. That's what we're saying we're willing to sell our 100 shares for. So we're going to put 150 right there, right? We just said you purchase your shares of Palantir at the current market price of, let's just say, 129 for easy math. Okay. Right now, we could see our premium return is about 2.3%. Basically, that is your premium divided by your 100 shares, right? Your 129 times 100, right? 12,900, right? 300 divided by 12,900, right? That is your premium, all right, your return. I like to look at it as your return on collateral, right? That is essentially putting your money to actual work for you. Essentially, I like to look at it this way. I know it's probably not the right way to look at it, but it's like, let's say I own 100 shares of a stock. I put it up there and I sell calls on him, covered calls on him, and I'm kind of like collecting rent on my stocks. Like, it's kind of cool. Like, it's just the way I look at it. Obviously, that's not the technical way. Some technical nerd is going to freak out on me saying, listen, dude, I'm sure a lot of things I talk about are wrong, right? This is just stuff that has worked for me for the last 7 years, okay? And it's how I do things, right? Is it completely right? No, okay? But it's just what I like to do, and I need things kept simple for myself because I got a lot of other things going on, all right? I got 3 kids, I got work, I got business, I got a bunch of fun stuff that I work on that I don't want to be sitting in front of charts all day, guys. That's not me, right? I said this in another video. I said, even if day trading worked and there was like a 90% success rate on it, I still wouldn't do it because it's like the last freaking thing I want to do. Like, the last thing I want to do is sit in front of a charts from 9 to 5 all day and just like day trade and draw on candlesticks. The last thing I want to do. I have no passion for it. Maybe you do. Fantastic. That works for you, right? But with that said, that is what our premium would look like, on our premium return would look like. If we sell our shares for $150, we collect another $2,100 in profit, right? Because we bought them at 129, we're selling them at 150 for a total profit on the trade. If we sell our shares, $2,400, right? That's your 2,100 appreciation plus your premium of 300 for a nice return here. But let's go full circle here. All right, let's go full circle here, because this isn't the way reality works, right? Let's open up this contract. Let's say July 11th rolls around, right? And Palantir is still trading around 129. Like, it's just been trading sideways. Maybe it's at like 130 or something like that, 131, right? Well, your contract would expire worthless. That means the contract would cease to exist, right? Your collateral, your 100 shares of Palantir, would be returned back to your account, right? And then you can run the play again for the following month, collecting some more quote unquote rent, okay? Rent being more premium. And that's it. This is why I love this strategy, right? I can, let's say you're at work or whatever, you're on your lunch break. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go run my cover call. Boom, put the phone away. Come back next month. Nothing wrong with that. I think 99% of people that sell options should just let everything go to expiration. Now, of course, you could take everything in life can go to a next level. And we're going to talk about that all in a second. But there's nothing wrong with that, right? Let's say you wake up July 11th, you open up your phone, not on July 11th, the following trading day. You come in and you're like, oh, okay, I didn't get assigned. My shares are back in my account. Let's go out the following month. Let's go out to August 11th now and, run another one, collect more premium. We're getting that up front and wait again. Nothing wrong with that. That's honestly a fantastic strategy. Don't trade a lot. Fits into pretty much every single person's lifestyle. I can't imagine somebody not being able to do that on a monthly basis, but teach their own, right? The second thing that can happen is let's say Palantir moons. It shoots up to 250, 200, right? 151. Anything above 150, you're going to have to sell your shares at $150. You will miss all that upside. Now, you have to assess that big risk for yourself, because that is the biggest risk of this strategy. Everybody wants to know, Pete, this always sounds too good to be true. Pete, like, this can't be real. Why haven't I learned this sooner? Well, a lot of people will tell you that risk is not worth taking. Now, that is, you have to, again, everything I talk about is just stuff that I like to do and that I've been doing, right? So you have to make those decisions for yourself. For me, I don't think that's a big risk. I'm essentially locking in gains. Like I'm locking in gains, not paper gains. Now, of course, with growth stocks like this, you could potentially miss a lot of upside. Let's say some crazy news comes out about Palantir, it shoots up to $200-$300. Well, you're stuck selling yours at $150. But here's my kind of mindset on the whole thing, right? Of like missing out on gains is the reason I love the stock market. Okay, I just had my third kid, right? And I was in the hospital for basically 3 nights with my wife, right? And I kind of made a decision during that period, and really up until yesterday when I started shooting content again, is like I wasn't going to look at the market at all. Like I wasn't going to give a crap what the market was doing or anything like that. And why did I do that? And it is because I obviously just wanted to be completely present. And second thing, I don't have to. I don't have to look at the charts. I don't have to look at anything. Why? Because even if I miss out on let's say closing a position early or something like that, I still am sticking to my plan. And my plan here in this educational example is I'm saying I'm willing to sell my 100 shares of Palantir for $150 on July 11th. Okay? That is my plan, and that is where I'm comfortable locking in gains. Why? Because this is the stock market, baby, and there is opportunities absolutely everywhere. It's nice, right? That's what I love about it. Even if you just are like, you know what? I'm just going to put my phone away for a month and not care what happens. That's fine. That's honestly what most people should do, because the more you kind of stare at stuff, the more you do things, the more chances you have of overtrading. Overtrading leads to losses. I don't know anybody that's been able to revenge trade or whatever and be successful. I personally don't know anybody, right? So for me, I'm even if I have to not look at the market for a week, I literally don't care. Or if I sell my 100 shares of Palantir and it moons to 200 and I sold them at 150, I don't care, dude. I sold my shares. I made a great profit. For example, going back to the Palantir chart here, and this is, again, my thought process of how I do things. This is me. This doesn't have to be what you do, all right? You can mix and match the strategy however you see fit. But like, I can bet you, yeah, like a lot of people that maybe were doing this strategy when Palantir was around 28, 29, and when it shot up here, they sold them. Let's say they had like some covered calls around like 50, right? And they sold them at 50, their shares that they bought at right around 25. Are they pissed off when they could have sold covered calls at 125? Sure they are. But they still kind of essentially doubled their money plus collected their premium. Like, can you really be mad about locking in actual real gains? Listen, companies like this that have these great premiums, great returns, look, this game can go either way real quick, guys. It can go either way real quick. It could just as easily could have gone the other way, right? Now, same thing goes for here, right? Like, let's say, like in this example, right? Palantir's around like $77 and it's having a climb here in like December, and then it had a big drop and you did some like cash secured puts. Now, cash secured puts are basically saying we get to buy shares at a price that we choose. So let's say it dropped to 64 and you bought some shares around $65, right? You got to sign. Now you own 100 shares of Palantir around $65, or you just went out there and bought 100 shares at $65 because you believe in the company and it dropped. Well, now you could do your covered calls. Right? Now, again, you probably wouldn't have thought that Palantir is going to go up to $125, right? You probably wouldn't have thought that, right? But you probably were like, you know what? I'll sell my calls at 82, right? So I bought them around 65 and I'm going to sell a month out to, about 85 or whatever it was, 82, right? Yeah, you would have gotten a sign and sold your shares at 82, and you would have missed out on all this upside of it going up to 125. But like, why are you kicking yourself about that? You still locked in gains, locked in profit. Again, the argument to me doesn't make sense, where it's like, well, you missed all this upside. Well, bro, like, let's be real. Like, if I'm sitting next to you, did you sell at 125? Did you go out there and actually just do an order and actually sold your shares at 125? No, you didn't. You didn't sell your shares. So you locked in paper gains, right? Name on the keyboard. And guess what? You came crashing down back to 85. You came crash, and we've been hanging around here for a bit. Now we had a nice recovery. I guess my way of looking at the markets is simple. I do think everyone should have a buy and hold portfolio, and that buy and hold portfolio should be just major Vanguard stuff. Me, you, especially if you're watching a YouTube video from a guy like me and you've actually watched it for 13 minutes so far, we are just normal average people. Like, we are normal average people that we do not have the capacity or the resources to be able to find these kind of growth stocks early enough. Some of you do. Some of you I spoke with, got on Amazon really, really early. Perfect. But you know how many, for every Amazon, there's thousands of losers, and there's companies dedicated with them trillions of dollars of resources to be able to spread their risk. To think that you can catch a Palantir early every time just because somebody on YouTube told you one time of a winner they got is a fool's game. It's a fool's game, right? So for me, I like to buy and hold, my Vanguard stuff, and I, every 2 weeks, a little bit of money just buys those five Vanguard funds that I like, and I get exposure to all the top companies because, again, they're ETFs, Vanguard ETFs, right? I get exposed to them, they're self-cleansing, and that's my set and forget. But when I'm selling options, I'm doing covered calls on my cash secured puts. My goal is really simple, and this maybe is because of my business background, is I only care about making a profit, right? Like, what's the goal of business? To make money, like capitalism, baby. Like, that's the way it is. And that's the way I look at the market. So if I bought 100 shares of Palantir around like $65 when it dropped here, and then I sold them around 82, will I be really pissed off and kicking myself and tell my grandkids, oh, I could have got it at 125? No, I wouldn't. Even if I got Palantir like down here at like $7, if I still played it all along the way, selling my cash securities, my cover calls, sure, the argument's there. Listen, I'm the first one to tell you the argument's there, right? If you bought it around here at around like $9 and like you've been just holding it here, right? And you sold it at like 131, right? Sure. I agree. You probably will beat me in that regard for a company like this. But at the same time, did I lose money? No, not technically. I still was locking in gains, real tangible gains along the way. And you most likely are still just holding the stock. And that might be perfect for you. For me personally, it's not. Guys, if you want the full option sellers checklist, it's perfect for those of you that are beginners. Drop a comment down below and I'll personally send it over to you. And while you're down there, hit that like and that subscribe button. Also, if you're somebody that wants a more handheld approach on learning how to sell options, I want to invite you to check out the Option Seller School. This is really a private, invite-only community of non-toxic people that are all doing this strategy together. If you want to learn more about that, that link will be down below in the description of today's video. You can learn more about what the quad option strategy is. If you like what you hear, and again, you are not a toxic person, you're a contributor, you're not just a soul-sucking individual that's like difficult to talk to. I'm just being real with you. I want to listen. The only people I bring into Option Seller School are people I would play a round of golf with. And if I can't hang out for like 4 hours, drink some beers, and play a round of golf with you, honestly, you're not going to be a fit for that. And that's just being real, right? So if you want to take a look at that, we have an amazing group of people in there that I just love talking to throughout the day. And if if you made it this far in this video, you probably are somebody I would love to get to know a little bit more. Click the link down below in the description of today's video. Guys, remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.